I don't even know what that is. I didn't even know there was a 2018 Taron Egerton Robin Hood. It's gotta be
I think
terrible.
the only reason I know that is because we interviewed him for it. He came to the studio, and the day that he came in, we're all like, what the fuck is he talking? Jamie Foxx is in this movie? What is going on right now?
Is it Jamie Foxx or is it no? What's his name was in the other Robin Hood? Morgan Freeman was in the.
Oh yes, the best Robin Hood of all time, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves with Kevin Costner, A+.
Oh, F minus.
Fuck you, Dan, you animal.
Hey, watch him with Dan and Tony. Hey, watch him with Dan and Tony. It's like watching, yeah.
Let's do the show and not shut up. Welcome to Hate Watching with Dan and Tony, the show that goes where other shows don't go because those other shows went there 10 years ago.
We don't want to retread.
We should have got this going back when people could build audiences before, like the algorithms, like unless you're a hate group, you cannot have an audience.
That's cheating. That's using a cheat code, Dan. I like the hard path. All right, we're only 61 or so episodes in. The people are still coming. I've got faith.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
We are jacked to the max.
We are jacked to the max. It's Jacktober, where we're exploring monster, horror, those types of movies. We did the one of the Crow movies last week, and this week, Tony he knocked it out of the park. Tony, tell us about this movie that you picked. This movie I'd never heard of.
Okay, great.
Chock full of people that are adjacent to stardom.
Yeah, it's one of those movies you watch and you're like, I've seen this person before. Definitely. I think I know them. And then Denise Richards, who everybody knows. Wonderful addition. David Boreanaz again, which is how I came by. This is how I came up with this movie, because he was in the Crow movie we watched last week, and I was like, I need a little more David Boreanaz in my life right now. Let's go to the other horror movie that he made, which was it's silly. It's a silly movie.
It's not a silly movie, but
not on purpose.
Not on purpose.
It's pretty silly.
We're just gonna say this. We rarely say the spoilers ahead.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of spoilers this week. Yeah,
a lot of spoilers because there's a twist at the end.
That doesn't make a lick of sense. I'm trying to figure out. I think we should try to deconstruct it later, because I'm still trying to figure out how it even makes any sense.
Well, there's okay. So this movie, 2001, they bought the book for it in 1998, which is not at all surprising because a couple of movies came out in 1996. Those two movies that came out in 1996 are.
I'm just going to guess here. I Know What You Did Last Summer?
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't look that one up.
Oh, shit.
Easily could have. Oh, Shannon just shut the back door. I thought we were having another earthquake. Scream.
Oh, Scream was 96?
96. And The Craft.
Oh, God. Both great movies.
Both great movies. Both
fantastic.
Perfect movies for what they do. I mean, I was going to go back and rewatch some Scream because that's what this movie is. This movie wants to be Scream, and it fails which is why Denise Richards looking hot fails on every other metric.
I'll tone it down for the podcast. Whoa. I'm smoking. Unbelievable. I get it. It's one of those times where you're like, oh, I did not remember just how magnetic it was, but yeah, I get it. But I felt the same way about David.
Troopers.
Which I haven't seen in years, but I'll have to go back.
She is so attractive in that movie, and also the other girl that plays the sort of tomboy is incredibly attractive too. The two of them, you're just like
Casper Van Dien. Hello, beautiful.
That movie, so good. And so this movie is looking at those movies and it's like, I'm going to be like them. Which is why
I guessed I Know What You Did Last Summer, because I Know What You Did Last Summer can be described that same way, where it was like it's trying to be Scream, but it doesn't quite make it up. So that's like the B-level Scream, which I adore, by the way. I Know What You Did Last Summer, one of my favorites. And then this movie is like the D version. It skips a level and goes down a little further.
Ooh, it's like a D-. And just like everything in it is just to try to push this quote unquote plot forward. Things just happen. And then it's just like, and now we're on to the next thing, and we're gonna set up arbitrary stuff, and now we're on to the next thing.
So
and,
good.
This does clock in at an hour and 36 minutes. And this movie has an incredible soundtrack, which is buried beneath it. You know, Marilyn Manson, Rob Zombie. That's where all the money in this movie went.
And it was well spent. I mean, they made great choices, and the scenes that they're in, I'm like, oh yeah, something cool's gonna happen, and then it doesn't. Like, there's a lot of like build up to something cool, and then they really let me down a lot.
Well, typically the songs are they even in the murder scenes? They're usually just in like a dance party scene, and then we cut.
Like that's the thing. So you're like, oh, something's gonna happen this scene, and then nothing happens, and then like a couple minutes later, someone gets trapped in a maze, and then just killed, and it's like, that feels like weird. It's like a weird roller coaster that you never quite feel comfortable on.
I was going to do a thing where I like assembled all the lines from this movie, all the classic lines, like "hello." And guys, there were more. There were more. I think there was another hello. There's just the writing is "you'll do." It's just so cliche.
It's iconic, is what you wanted to say there. Iconic.
And it's kind of funny because if they'd have played with that a little more, and actually made the tense murder scenes tense or murdery, you might have gotten into this. This has literally the worst murder scenes of any movie I've ever seen.
Worst horror deaths of all time. That is my biggest complaint. I think I genuinely would have enjoyed this movie if they had cool deaths. That's all I really need in a horror movie, is like to go like this one time. Oh, if I do that one time, you've done your job and I'll give you an A. These were the worst, most lackluster deaths ever. Especially, and we'll get to it because I need to talk about it in depth, but Denise Richards in the hot tub was confusing. But I'm going to save it.
It's so good. It's so good. And that's what's so sad about this movie is you want it to be so bad it's so good.
Yeah.
And it's just like there's so nothing there. It's just you don't care.
It just doesn't quite live up to the so bad it's good.
So we set up the high school or junior high school dance. Nerdy kid braces glasses, goes from girl to girl to girl, and gets shut down.
So that was my first problem with this movie, just so you know.
Wow. Okay.
First of all, good on the kid. He's got gumption. That's great. But can you really get that upset when you get rejected by everybody? Like, you're just randomly shooting it out. You don't have anybody that you actually care for. It's not like he's like, I've got a crush on this girl, and she humiliated me in front of everybody. It's just like, I don't know. Hey, do you want to dance? No? Okay. How about you? Hey, donkey, how about you? I don't understand it. I don't like this kid's just splattergunning all over the place, and then he's butthurt about it? Come on.
Yeah, it's fairly terrible. He's like going up basically to the hottest girl in school, the cutest girl in school, the coolest girl in school, and surprise, surprise, they don't have any interest in him. Welcome to humiliation. But that's the whole setup.
I don't have any interest in him. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and the other thing is these girls are played so in the middle. They're not the bitchiest girls on the planet. They're not nice girls either. They're just kind of like these girls that you're like, ugh.
Yeah. I don't care for many of them.
So
it's really just one.
We got Shelly, Dance With Me, In Your Dreams, Loser, Lily, who's wearing the beret and the little thing and pearls. Get out of here. Paige, I'd rather be boiled alive. Kate, maybe later. And then Dorothy.
Is that what she says? Is that what Paige says? I'd rather be boiled alive?
Oh,
so they
she
fucked
gets
up
boiled
their
alive.
own foreshadowing?
They did boil her alive.
They didn't boil her alive. That's the whole problem with the hot tub scene. They fucked up. Oh my God. I did not remember that they said that, but the entire scene, which we'll get into in depth later, I was waiting for him to boil her in the hot tub, and then he doesn't. And I was like, that's dumb. But now it's worse. They foreshadowed it, and then they botched it. Good job, you assholes.
I mean, and during the movie, he sends them Valentines, and then they die. Did he send her a Valentine? Did she even get one?
No, because he just sent one to the house with the maggot chocolates.
Yeah,
and they were like, "It's for you," and then the other one's like, "No, it's for you. It's for you." And then, I'm gonna eat the chocolates. I don't know. So like, it wasn't specific to them. It was to just the household.
Yeah, and so, like, if you thought that the premise was going to be he sends them a Valentine, and then they're the next to die. Which is what you want to do. You want to set up this dramatic tension, but they'd get the Valentines and they'd be like, "What is this?" And then just throw it in the trash can and just ignore
honestly, it. Dan, your reaction was stronger than any of their reactions in this movie. They skate right past it. They're just like, "Oh, I'm gonna twist your insides." Okay, what's for dinner, guys? It's ridiculous how little they cared about these murderous threats.
So all the girls shut him down. Then he makes out with the girl who they call Buffalo because she's a little bigger. And then
I know it's not good to laugh at that, but the line when they sneak up and they see them making out, one of the kids goes, "Pervert jumped Buffalo," and I laughed so hard.
Tony, that's
good
so
stuff,
mean,
guys. It's good stuff.
So they strip him down to his blue underwear. And then they kick him. I don't know if they kick him on the ground, whatever.
It certainly looks like they are kicking him. Yeah.
They pour punch on him.
This is way more bullying than the girls actually do. So I feel like his anger is slightly misplaced, is all I'm saying. Like, these dudes beat the shit out of him on the ground. I don't know.
It sure seemed, maybe that's Valentine 2 is where he kills all the boys in the school.
Okay. We're still waiting for it.
Still waiting for that. Then here comes the piano music. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, and there's one kid wearing this weird Cupid mask that doesn't really look like a Cupid mask. It just looks like a weird mask.
Like a weird baby child mask.
Okay, we're gonna take a pause because we got to the titles. We're only 20 minutes into the show.
Great work, guys.
Why the hell is this Valentine? Why is this movie called Valentine? It's literally the dumbest title for a movie ever.
Is it the dumbest title? I mean, it's not a good title. But because he sends the Valentine.
Why can't it be Valentine's Day? Why can't it be?
Well, because they knew that Ashton Kutcher flick was going to come out in a few years, and they were like, "We can't call it Valentine's Day." Right? Isn't Ashton Kutcher in a movie called Valentine's Day, and it's kind of like New Year's Eve or whatever?
I think we have to watch that movie.
I think we will.
Boom. 13 years later, Shelly is out on a date. Katherine Heigl with dark brown hair, very attractive.
Sure. Oh, yeah, she looks great. She's just, she's still Katherine Heigl.
And I was like, is this the protagonist? I was confused because they kind of were acting like she was the protagonist. And I was like, I do not know what is going on.
Well, I think they were trying to do the Scream move where it's like the Drew Barrymore, but they forgot to get someone more famous. And so it's just kind of like this weird gray area where you're like, why is Katherine Heigl even in the movie? Was she one of the kids? Which I assume she is. I just don't remember which one. And then it's she's going to die.
She's the first one.
And I was like, okay, yeah, just kill her. I don't know. Why am I watching her?
They actually all die in order of their refusal of him.
Oh, that's a great little tidbit that I didn't pick up on. You know what? I take it back. This is A+ filmmaking. Great job, guys.
Except Kate doesn't die, So,
she's gonna. Spoiler alert.
And that's the other thing about this movie is there's all this collateral damage for no reason. There are all these other people that are killed for no reason.
And most of them off screen. That was another thing that I complained about during this movie is a lot of deaths happen off screen. Why are they off screen? I want to see it. This is a horror. This is a slasher movie. Let me see the deaths, you guys.
And it's not like these people are generally getting in the way of the killer. It's like the killer goes and seeks these people out to punish them for being adjacent to these girls.
That's right. You can't talk to them.
So Katherine Heigl, Shelly's on a date. it's this horrible guy who talks about himself in the third person.
Jason likes it. Something. I thought when he does his first diatribe where he's like, Jason picks a young girl, I was like, is he talking about Friday the 13th right now? I don't understand what he's saying. And then I picked up that he's like, oh, no, he's talking about himself in the third person. This guy is douche central.
Don't he thought he was running through the plots of other major horror movies.
I was like, what? This is a weird, like, meta thing that they're doing. I don't know how I feel about it. It wasn't.
Mike Myers picks up his knife. Ooh, what's he going to do with that knife? Mike Myers.
I don't know. Talk to me. I like it.
So every male figure in this movie should be killed.
100%. They're all terrible human beings. Which, listen, you're probably right. All men are evil. You know, I get it. I'm on board. But we don't kill enough of them. That's my thing.
And we don't even actually, since we kill a lot of the secondary characters, we don't even kill all of them.
Correct.
We leave a couple of them alive at the end.
Yep. Just because there's no rhyme or reason to most of this movie.
So Katherine Heigl goes back to her job or her school because she's the brainy one. Yeah, right. And goes to dissect a corpse wearing a tank top.
Yep, she's got. Did she even put on gloves when she was about to cut this guy open? She did. Okay,
put on gloves.
I couldn't remember. I was laughing too hard during this whole scene.
It's like hot co-ed carving up a body. You're like, okay,
but all alone. Why? Where is she that there's no security guard? And how does she just have unlimited access to this morgue area?
Oh, because it's school. So it's a school project. But that's probably
listen, I haven't been to school for a while, granted, 50, 60 years. But I feel like you had to like rent a room or like book out a room with people and be like, hey, I'm going to be here from these hours so that people know that you're alive. I don't know. It's weird. And there's no lights on anywhere. She like walks that hallway. It's pure darkness. I don't get it, man. Yeah. This is a terrible school.
Yeah. So she's there ready to dissect the corpse. And what happens? It's really terrible. In tank top, someone there. Hello. She goes into the locker room. Line. Runs into this other guy and is like, oh, I got scared. Goes back there, is about to cut into the corpse, and then the corpse breathes. So somehow the killer has like gotten naked on the table, sort of, or like this is the clothes. Trick they need to do to get her is by putting yourself prone with her, like about to cut you open. I mean,
hold on.
She easily could have just plunged that knife right into him and he couldn't see her.
No, because she's a bad doctor. I think we all know that she's not going to do it. But so step one, take off. Hold on. Step one, shove the real corpse into the closet. Step two, strip off all your clothes. Step three, cover yourself in blue makeup because it was a dead corpse. It was blue and like had little red rings. It was a very elaborate plan.
I will say one thing. You could tell that it was an alive person in the shot. He didn't have blue makeup on his body.
I don't buy it.
So he jumps up, she like runs around, and there's this other convention I haven't seen in shows is the bad guy leaves a door open, like a door that was shut. The bad guy leaves it open to try to convince the person to leave through that door. And they always do it. Every time they see an open door, they're like, I'm going through that door.
That's like it's a life saying, right? Like go through the open door or something. So it's ingrained deep inside you.
So she runs around, locked doors, except the door she needed to work through. And then she goes through the one door and there's like 10 corpses lined up. And so, we cut away from her because she's trapped in there. And then he shows up and he sees all the corpses and then he starts walking down, stabbing each one.
Yeah, very fun.
And so we get to the last one. He unzips it. There she is, and he stabs her to death.
Well, he cuts her throat, sort of. But it's so anticlimactic. Like, there's so much buildup. It's like 8 minutes of buildup, and then we get to her, she's just like, no! I was like, what? Where's the fanfare? This is Katherine Heigl. We are killing Katherine Heigl. People are cheering in the movie theater. I'll tell you that right now. And it was so boring. I wanted to just do something cool. That's how I immediately knew we were in for a rough ride. If the first kill sucks, the movie's over.
And I would say it's the most boring of the kills, but it's not.
But it's not. It should be like, the only way to go is up from here, guys. But they find a way.
They go down. So, cuts her throat. Paige and Kate are walking and talking. Denise Richards smoking hot, as we have said. And then they go to do... Okay, Denise Richards. Men would be attracted to her like a moth to a candle. They would just... they'd be sticking to her. She would be prying them off of her.
And just for a lit candle, because of flame.
Yeah, because not the out candle. That's the other girl. That's poor Dorothy. So they're doing speed dating, so we can see more classifications of men that are horrific.
What was it called? It was something better than speed dating. It was like, oh shit! It was something faster than speed. I don't remember what it was. But it was a very funny name. I'm sorry.
And there's like this one guy at the end that Denise Richards like moves in on Kate for, and he's so weird looking. Like, I don't know, man. His face was weird.
Yeah, it's not. It's just the proportions were wrong. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying I'm a good looking guy. I do all right. But like they were not the right sizes, so his face looked kind of like a Picasso painting a little bit.
We're just normal looking guys.
Yeah.
The other guys were weird looking, and then this guy's like if you took a good looking guy and then made him weird looking, you're just like. And she's all like over him, like all over, like ooh yeah, ooh, I'm all over you.
That's because she's a great actor, so we buy it. But no way, no way.
So now we're going to Shelly's funeral. We learned about David Boreanaz is Kate's boyfriend who works at the newspaper with her, and he's like an alcoholic.
Well, Dan, he's not an alcoholic. What was he?
What is he?
Like addictive personality who likes to drink or something stupid like that. I don't know. Hilarious.
His name is Adam. I looked at this. So this movie's 2001. Buffy started at 97, ran to 2003.
Great.
Angel ran from 1999 to 2004.
Okay, so this is like mid-height Dave Boreanaz. So this is like he should be becoming a movie star. We're trying to get him in the pictures. We're putting him in the pictures. Okay.
No.
Good to know. Sad day.
So let's see. So they have this awkward kiss, and the last time he does a whole thing about, remember at Tahoe, what a good time we had in bed for 3 days.
And they do. They remember.
They remember. So then I think he leaves, and then all the girls are walking, and then Denise Richards, Paige, takes off her jacket, and you're like, now the movie's going to start.
Here we go. Strap in, ladies and gentlemen.
And immediately Lily's like, stop. Put the jacket back on. What do you and we're just like,
shame her body. Shame it.
And this is why in comedy, you're supposed to be yes and, right? So she should have like Velcro on her pants and then like be wearing like mini shorts underneath her pants. They should just
tearaways. Are you promoting tearaways?
Yes, just for this movie. Because
those are my favorite things ever. I used to wear them. I played basketball as a kid. I was not very good, but I did it just so I could wear fucking tearaways everywhere and just be like, I'm ready. Let's go. They're the best.
So the detective comes over and he's like, he looks like he's from television, and he like says some words I don't even remember.
Hold on. you using television as an insult to the actor? Like,
Yeah.
because that's my favorite thing I've ever heard. He looks like he's from television. Can't quite make it in the big leagues, but the silver screen, sure. That's great.
Pretty sad. So now we go to Dorothy's house. She lives in this giant mansion. She has like this
Beautiful house.
angry maid. She fights with the hot Asian stepmom, and we see the super weird tan dad, and we never see these two characters again.
Well, that is correct. Because don't they go on like vacation? I don't know. Did you feel, and I don't want to be mean, but did you feel like maybe Dorothy and her father were around the same age? Because
No, the dad felt a little
Dorothy
older.
just seemed so much older than the rest of the gang. And I was like, this is weird. She doesn't work in this role for me. And then she's arguing with this beautiful stepmother who I'm like, she's a good 10 years younger than Dorothy is. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. The stepmother's 22.
It's
Or not,
all weird.
stepmother's 26.
I know, but aren't they all supposed to be college age? So I was like,
well, the stepmom can be any age, right?
Oh, I know. I just feel like she looked the right age to be a part of the group, and Dorothy looks like she's a generation ahead of everybody.
Yes,
that's all.
Those buffalo jeans. Sorry,
pervert jumped buffalo.
Okay, so Kate is in the shower. Hello. Water stops. All the water's out. Hello.
Hate it when that happens.
Her front door is open.
Yeah, wide open. Yep.
She's wearing a towel, and she hears the elevator, and she goes out. She goes out her front door in the towel to look at what's going on with the elevator.
Yeah.
And there's a Cupid mask in the elevator. Then she turns around. Oh, God. And there's... Oh, no, wait. She calls Murray. Wait. Oh, no. Okay, wait. Sorry, I got this all wrong. This is the most important part of the movie. So
is it?
The water's out. She calls Murray the super to try and get him to fix it.
Yeah.
The iron is there and it's on.
It's like on. It's
who
steaming.
Takes a shower and leaves the iron on.
The iron is heating up. Terrible idea, you guys. That's how you set a house fire. Ironing 101. Always be there. Come on.
Her hair is soapy, so she washes her hair in the toilet.
I have a huge problem with this, Dan.
You're telling me a huge problem with her washing her hair in the toilet?
That's just not the next step. You know what I mean? Like, open the fridge, lady. Is there milk in there? Is there like a soda? You could do so many things to put it, not toilet water. You got toilet head now for the rest of the movie because we never see her shower again. It's the whole movie. She's got poop hair.
Okay. I'm not even going to go into it. Sometimes you get an upset stomach and you go into the restroom and you gotta alleviate yourself, and you're going to alleviate yourself in the toilet. I clean that toilet, probably not as much as I should, but
who does?
The smell in the toilet,
not good.
Not good. Even if you keep a really clean toilet, it's not going to smell good in there because there's all sorts of waste going in there constantly.
It's a toilet, guys. Don't put your head in the toilet. That's it. That's all you need to know. Don't do it. I mean, seriously, what's so wrong with having soap in your hair? What happens then? I would rather have soap in my hair for the rest of my life than put it in the toilet one time.
I don't care. If you said, Dan, I'll give you $100 if you stick your head in the toilet, I would do it because I'm insane.
$100? That's it?
Sure.
I'll give you $100 right now. I'll watch that shit.
I said, bring the video camera. You can video me. I'm going to clean the toilet first. I'm not going to just
of course. I'm not an animal.
Yeah, okay. I don't care. I don't, whatever. I'm not going to die from sticking my head in the toilet. But
I care.
I'm not going to stick my head in the toilet to wash off some soap. There's got to be some real benefit.
Soap is already clean. Okay. Toilet, not clean.
So she goes out there and then she goes, the front door's open. Like, right. I guess my front door's open. I need to walk out it. So she walks out.
Go right out with no clothes on.
No clothes on. Sees the elevator And then she's getting ready to go back, and maybe there was a jump scare. The jump scares in this movie are the worst jump scares ever. I didn't jump once, and
I don't think there are jump scares. I think you're wrong.
There are. They try to do them a couple of times, and they're the biggest failures ever. Because you can kill. You can be like, I can be like, bah! This one I was like, oh yeah, okay.
Okay, okay. Someone was there. Got it.
So Gary comes out, and Gary talks in all alliterations. Gary's not Harry. He's looking for Larry. It's. I love Gary more than anything. And
okay. My first thought was like Gary should be locked up. Maybe Gary shouldn't be living in the public. I don't know.
No, Gary's out of his mind. But you're just like, I want to see more of this character. I want to see less of them like walking around talking about Tahoe or whatever. David Boreanaz struggles with alcohol.
Yeah, well, hey, it's real. Struggle's real.
So he just
Is he supposed to be a red herring, you think? I never even thought about that.
There are 12 red herrings in this. Every guy in this movie is a red herring, and they all are for naught, because at one point we pitched the line, with a little plastic surgery, he could be anyone.
He could be anyone. I'm like, okay. Great story.
Okay, so we skip over. Lily's watching tapes with Shelly. There's nobody there. They get a box of chocolates. The chocolates have maggots in them. Whatever.
Pretty gross. I mean, it's no Lost Boys. You're eating maggots, Michael. I mean, now that's a moment with the Chinese food. You remember this?
I watched that movie. That movie's weird.
Dan, I'm breaking up with you. We can't do this podcast anymore.
It's over.
You're done.
I thought there was gonna be broken glass in there.
Ooh, like the Halloween candy where you're like, oh,
broken glass in there. Her tongue's all bloody. Let's make a horror movie.
Going full dark right away. I love it.
I am not a horror movie person, but give me something that I'm going to think about. Maggots. Ooh, I'm going to not whatever.
I mean, to be fair, Dan, we just saw a woman dunk her head in toilet water, and to me, that's way worse.
1,000 times worse.
Way worse than anything that the killer ever does in this movie.
It's the true horror of the movie is the things these women choose to do. Date, like talk to Gary, go out with
Gary,
the weird speed dating guy.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so they figure it out that they just sit there and go, I wonder who it could be. Oh, it's the guy from our childhood. So we've had that solved.
Which they get there pretty quickly. In my mind, 6th grade is a long time ago, and these people talk about middle school a ton throughout them, way more than normal people talk about middle school. It's very weird to me. Like, they're very fixated on that time. Maybe they peaked. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe they peaked in middle school, and it's been all downhill from there. Except for Denise Richards.
She's still not peaked.
She's doing great.
So now we go to this art thing, where there's Max, who's dating Lily, and
sort of.
His art is just like video screens of like faces and things that are saying like, "What do you like? What do you like? What do you like?"
It's very creepy, and it's a lot of close-up mouths, which I don't like it. I don't like the mouths.
And at one point, one of them, I think Denise Richards says it because she has a few good lines. It's like a lingerie commercial. Everything he does is like a lingerie commercial. Kind of true. So Max is super creepy.
Yep.
And then we set up that this is Valentine's Day, even though the next day is Valentine's Day. We never really know when Valentine's Day is. We never set it up.
I think that they think Valentine's is a full week celebration.
Yeah.
That's what because they mentioned Valentine's Day multiple times, and there's no way this all happens in one day. It's just not possible.
I think the next day. Yeah, I don't know. So he's like, girls go to this side of the sex maze, boys go to this side of the sex maze, and everybody goes into the sex maze. And it's like this whole gallery's worth of people go into the sex maze, and instantaneously, it's just one girl walking around by. Oh no, wait. She goes and meets Max.
Yep.
And then they start making out, and then this other girl comes there, and she's like starts to take off her clothes watching them. Kind of a sexy moment.
which is one of the only ones in this entire movie. And then it was all weird. It got very weird very quickly.
Well,
Because he invited her without telling the other girl, and I was like, what is happening right now?
And immediately Lily's like, "You're a creep. I'm gone."
Which is true. I mean, this could not have been her first sign, though. You know what I mean? Like, this is not the first time he's done something like this. Guaranteed. He was very, very nonchalant about it. He's like, oh, I invited her. Yeah, no, we're going to have a three-way for sure.
You know what we should have found out at the end of the movie is that Max and Gary and the speed dating guy, they were the boys in junior high.
Oh, yeah, that would have been good.
Yeah.
That would have been fun. They weren't, though.
They weren't. So now Lily is wandering through the maze by herself, not with a boyfriend, and she's alone.
How big is this maze?
It
infinite. Seems huge.
And more importantly, the killer is in control of the maze.
Apparently. Yeah, he can turn closing things off, and it's very strange.
He's moving the walls around, probably with his mind. And then she gets there, and then she turns around. I don't even know if she turns around, but she's just standing there, and then there's an arrow through her belly.
Yeah.
Then there's another arrow through her belly. Then there's a third arrow through her belly, and she's gone out an emergency exit and is falling into a lot of trash to never be discovered again.
Yeah.
This was the worst murder of the movie because it was super stupid, and she didn't even see it coming. She didn't even feel fear.
Nope. She was just walking around a maze like, what is going on? And then all of a sudden there's an arrow. And then we cut to the guy, and he can't really shoot the bow. Like, the bow is too small for his body frame. And I was just like, this is really bad, guys. What's happening?
So she falls to her death, or she was already dead. We don't care. And
it doesn't matter.
We spend the rest of the movie. The other girls are like, whatever. Lily's in France. Will we ever hear from her again?
What's weird to me about that, Dan, is you're telling me they didn't say goodnight? Like, they didn't look for her. They just thought she disappeared? What is she, like, famous for her Irish goodbyes where she just, slowly walks away from a party, not saying anything to anybody? It's dumb. It's dumb. They would know.
Oh my God. Now, I don't know if this happened. I guess maybe this all happened after she got murdered. They're still at the art opening. And Campbell, who is Dorothy's new boyfriend, who's a rip-off investor, this random girl shows up and is all like, you stole my money. He's going to steal your money.
Yeah.
And it's just
they ignore it. Dan, let me ask you a question. If you had met someone just a few weeks ago, and invited them to live in your house, one, crazy. First of all, that's bananas. Crazy.
Am I in love with him?
Right. Are you so head over heels in love with this person that if their ex comes up and is like, hey, he stole all of my shit, you'd be like, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. What is happening?
If it was Denise Richards, I would be like, no, she.
But he's not Denise Richards. If it was David Boreanaz, yes, I'd allow it. This fucking guy, no, get him out of here. He's on the street.
Okay, so we have this other scene with another David Boreanaz scene. I guess he shot all his scenes in 3 weeks. So he kind of appears and disappears.
He is good.
It's him and Kate, and I think they're at a bar talking about his sobriety.
100%. They're sitting at a bar. They're on bar stools. There's drinks everywhere. And he's like, I'll just have a club soda. She's like, I'm going to drink all the booze. She is the worst supportive girlfriend ever. Listen, I have never dealt with alcoholism, thankfully. But I don't think my move would be to bring him to a bar. I just don't think that would be what I do. And then later in the movie, which we'll get to, she gets mad at him for drinking at a party full of booze. It's like, stop bringing him to these places. He is 3 weeks sober. That's not even a ton. He is struggling, girl, and you are not helping.
Take him to parties, take him to bars, any place that there's alcohol, the alcohol water park, where you're swimming in champagne. Hey, that's where I want to go because it's hot out.
It's so stupid. Ridiculous.
So they haven't found Lily. We get another card, and we find out that Paige lied about him attacking her, and he got sent to reform school, and it ruined his life. So she deserves to die. Boom.
But no one is that mad at her. They were like, no, you didn't. Really? Oh, well, anywho, it's probably not him. Let's move on.
So now Kate goes to the library to do her research on the guy, doesn't find anything out. Then David Boreanaz shows up, walks her home, and then outside she's all like, "Why'd you come upstairs? Why'd you come upstairs? Why'd you come upstairs?" Even though she was like pushing him away earlier in the day.
Mixed signals all over the place. I feel so bad for this guy and stuff.
And so she's like, "Okay, I'm going upstairs." It's like, oh, you are so horrible. You deserve to die.
But how charming is Boreanaz in this scene? When he's like saying no, I was like, oh, I'd still ask you up, dude. Come on up.
Oh my God. Still like 3 more pages to this movie. So the cop brings them all in. They try to find out the name of Campbell's last name. Everyone gets all weird, and then the cop sends everybody home, and then he gets Paige alone, and he hits on her, which is like so weird.
Was it we? I saw it coming a mile away. I was like, this guy's giving her creepy googly eyes. And then he's like, oh, will you stay after class? And I was like, oh shit, she's dead. She's never heard from again. But luckily she's like kind of a badass in this movie until the hot tub. But like up until then, she's kind of a badass. I really like her character.
So it's like really weird. It's like, it's just unnecessary. We have enough terrible men. We don't need the cop to be
Here's
like
the
a
thing,
horrible
man. All
man.
men are terrible. And I'm not saying that facetiously. I'm just like, I'm into it. Good for you. We're all shitty people. We are. Look, I've been drooling over Denise Richards this whole podcast. I get it. We're not good people. And she like, what's great about it in my eyes, I don't know, is that she like stands up to him. He puts his hand on her thigh and she's like, do not touch me. I'm leaving. Good for you. Kick some ass.
She should have knifed him. Knife. That would have been the right move.
She should have knifed him. You're absolutely right.
So now we're in Kate's apartment. The iron is there. The iron is on. Kate is not there. The iron is on. And
why?
I don't know. And Gary is in there, and he is doing God knows what with her underwear.
I had a talk with my wife, and she thinks that he was just trying them on.
Oh, yeah, I think he was trying him on, too.
Okay, because I took it a different direction where I thought he was doing some more stuff probably in the bed. And she was like, I think he's just trying him on. So I'm going to go with that. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. Still creepy as fuck. You're in someone else's apartment.
I agree that was what the move that they were trying to show. What he was going to do next was everything else.
It's not good. It's not good.
Very bad. And so the killer just kills him? How does the killer even kill him? I don't even remember.
It hits him with the iron. I remember that.
Oh, he hits him with the iron and burns him with the iron face. One of the better deaths. We could have used a lot more.
So this is where it got a little murky for me, because at this point I was like, oh, maybe the killer is trying to kill everyone around Kate.
Sure.
And protect her.
Sure.
But then it turns out that's not really what's happening either.
No.
I don't. Motivations. Very murky.
The killer is killing anyone they can at any time they can, and we're trying to get through these kill scenes as quickly as we can.
Yeah, there's no, so a lot of times, and I'm not saying all the time, a lot of times when you make a horror movie, like as a director, it's because you want to direct a fucking horror movie. You're like, I want to do cool kills, and I want to get this great tension, and there's just no labor of love to the blood of the movie. And to me, that's it. You're done. You're out.
Okay, now we're outside Kate's apartment. Every day is Valentine's Day because I think it's the next day. And the other thing is he cleans up the body. He does something with that body, with Gary's body.
Does great. Probably cleans her apartment better than it's been cleaned in a long time.
Probably. Okay. That's why it's okay to clean her head in the toilet, because he keeps creeping in there, cleaning the whole goddamn place. Every day that toilet's clean. So that's a nice toilet
every
now.
day is Valentine's Day.
They do some gifts. Stupid. They come for Campbell. So I guess the cops take Campbell away from the party house. Wait, what's happening? I don't know. Well, they take Campbell away, then they bring him back, and then Dorothy plus the hot tub gift of a watch, put it on. So, she gives him a watch. She gives Campbell a watch.
A fancy watch.
And then they have sex, but he can't perform, I guess, for some reason.
Yeah, apparently he can't get it up. She's like, don't worry about it. I'm going to go shower. And I was like, dude, you should worry about it. That's not great.
Then he's like, oh, I did give you a thing. Here's this necklace.
Which is the ugliest necklace ever. I don't understand what it is, but it's
I think it's horrendous. I think it's a little Cupid.
Oh, is it a little Cupid? It's supposed to be another red herring?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. It was ugly. No one's going to wear that necklace.
No,
that's all
she has to act like she loves it. So Campbell then says he has meetings or something, but his meetings are really him just going down to the pool house and putting on a robe and
being cranky.
And being super cranky. Super cranky.
That's his thing.
And so she calls him because, of course, the water's out. So other than leaving doors open, this guy's always turning off the fucking water.
That maybe he thinks he's cutting the electrical line and just doesn't know which one he's doing.
So he goes downstairs to the basement because, you call him in the middle of you wouldn't have the maid do it or one of the servants.
Well, that's another one of my favorite lines. He's like, now I'm part of the fucking staff. And I was like, what?
That was a funny line.
So good.
So we go down there and Tony, describe to me how big the water heater is for this mansion.
It's not big. You said that as if it was going to be big. It's not big at all. It's probably smaller than the one that I have for my 1-bedroom apartment. But this house, from what I can tell, has 8 or 9 bathrooms and like 20 bedrooms and several different rec rooms, one of which is all in plaid and is the ugliest room I've ever seen in my entire life. And there's no way that it could do it. It's ridiculous. These guys have never seen a water heater before in their lives.
Well, they know what a water heater is. They just had one in a basement somewhere and they shot it down there where this random water heater was.
I don't know.
They didn't go to a mansion and say, "Let's see your water heater." It's this thing. It was the one we had like in my my childhood house. It's just like childhood house. Oh, so stupid. And then we see like an axe in a stump. There's a stump in the basement with an axe in it, and then he gets axed to death. Oh my God, we don't care.
And it's just one axe. He just thunk, and then that's it. And I was like, what are you talking about? Step on his back, tear it out, and do it at least one more time. Do something cool. Ugh.
So now we have the giant party scene where we're going to finish this stupid movie. Giant party, 1 million people. Nobody knows who any of these people are. They don't ever talk to any of these people. Yep. It's just the 100%. Same characters. It's just everybody's background except the main characters.
Well, and then all the weird dudes show up too.
Who's the weird dude?
Like, didn't even the weird dude from Speed Dating show up?
Oh yeah, he shows up. Yeah, we got that whole scene.
Why did he show up? I don't know. I'm getting very
so he could have hot wax poured on his dick.
Oh fuck! That's right. Because Paige is like, I was texting Brian. Okay, I remember.
So for whatever reason, there's a giant party raging, and Dorothy's in the kitchen alone eating.
And you know what? Weird. I think this is a great time to talk about her nickname. They call her Dorth. Is that really short for Dorothy? I've never heard anyone say Dorth before, but they say it multiple times in this movie. It's like, whatever, Dorth. Such a bad nickname.
Oh my God.
Don't ever, if your daughter's name is Dorothy, don't call her Dorth. It's not endearing at all.
So David Boreanaz shows up and he looks great. He really good.
He always looks great. This guy, very cute.
Rockin' music. Speed date guy shows up. He's like, I got a surprise for you. They go upstairs to the bathroom. He's like, he wants her to, pleasure him without her getting pleasure.
It's another great Paige moment in my book where she's like, you said you had a surprise. What is it? And then he whips it out and she's like, that's your surprise. You brought me up here to show me your dick. I don't give a fuck. Like, she doesn't care at all, and I love it. She's great.
Yes and no. It's like, why did you call this dude? What did you expect from this guy? You expect
him to try, Dan. She wants him to try a little. You know what's not trying? Just whipping your dick out and being like, okay, give it to me, baby. That's not sexy. That's not romantic.
It isn't.
Show up with a gift. It's Valentine's Day. I have a surprise for you. Here's here's some diamond earrings. Great. Now you have a date.
So she ties him up like they're going to have sex, and then she pours hot wax on his private parts, which
I mean,
would not be a
this
good
guy
thing to do to a
is an
person.
idiot because she was clearly not into it. And then she started tying you up. You said, you get out of there. You're like, oh, no, I've upset you. I should leave. But no, he gets what he deserves.
Okay, weird ex-girlfriend also shows up and does the accusing thing. Creepy Max shows up, but Lily never showed up, and he tells them that.
Oh, that's right. Mac, he's the one that tells them that their friend is missing.
Yeah, he's the one.
Nobody has paid any attention to this. It's
because he called her or something. So
yeah,
the weird Campbell's ex-girlfriend, because we got to follow her for 5 or 8 minutes of this movie because
yes,
who knows? She goes, steals a watch from the watch that Dorothy gave to Campbell and puts it on. Then she ends up in your favorite game room, and then there's
horrible room.
There's Cupid pulling the dead housekeeper out of a
which is another death that would have led. Why did he kill her? She must have seen something. Ugh.
I don't know. So she hits him with the cue. She runs away. She hides in the sauna, finds dead Campbell. And of course, the party in the other part of the house is the loudest thing in the world. And where she is, it's absolute silence.
Because I think this place is huge, Dan. I think she's like a quarter mile away in the same house. But here's the thing. Oh, no, go.
So she sees a door to get out. Instead, she goes into a sauna and locks herself in, as opposed to a door to go out, which she doesn't even try to see.
I don't understand. I don't. What? How is that your decision-making process?
So this sauna, this glass door breaks, and there's pokey glass, and he just plunges her head into the pokey glass.
Hold on, let's talk about her hiding in the sauna real quickly, because at this moment I was like, okay, I know exactly what's going to happen.
Heat it up,
He's going to lock the door with like a broom or something, and then just turn it up, and she's going to fucking boil alive. Instead, he waits for her to leave and then just like, oh, I got you now. And then throws her into glass. And I was like, what the fuck? That's not fun.
He's very patient. He's a very patient killer. It's like he sits there. Okay, smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, I'm like, boy, this was a lot of work. I better take a break. Hey.
Dorothy's moping around. They set up that there's a gun in the study. The detective says he's on his way.
And the gun in the study is loaded?
She loads it when she goes in there.
Oh, I must have missed her loading it. I thought she just broke the glass and was like, here we go. And I was like, wait, that's just sitting there?
Puts a clip in. Absolutely.
Okay, great. Smart.
Here we go. And then she catches David Boreanaz hitting the booze, and it's like, oh no, you're drinking at a party
full of drunk people and booze. I can't believe he would relapse. Hey.
So now we do Paige in the hot tub. We have they play the Jaws music sort of at one point. It's kind of. So she's like lounging in the thing, looking like beautiful. Her makeup doesn't run in the water. It's
real quickly, God. Dan.
Jesus Christ.
When she's leaning back on the hot tub and has her arms spread out, her wingspan looks enormous. I would love to see her like this next to like a KG, just to see how long these arms are, because they look very long in this scene, and I was blown away.
So there she is. She hears something. She thinks there's these might be hiding in the bushes, and then I don't even know what happens. She goes back in the pool, and then he closes the top on her. I don't even know how that all sort of happens.
There's a row. She checks the bushes. No one seems to be there. And then she's like leaving, and he grabs her and then throws her into the hot tub, and then closes this glass cover.
And then he's got a drill with a really long bit on it.
Yeah, let's take this step by step. So he closes the hot tub and locks it. And I was like, okay, I know exactly what's going to happen. He's going to boil her alive. And instead, he grabs a giant fucking drill. Where did this come from? I have no idea. And then he starts, and I was like, oh shit, okay, he's going to get her right in the head. Nope, he's just possibly giving her air holes. I'm not really sure, but that drill is long enough that he could get her anywhere. Eventually, he gets her on the arm. And I was like, okay, now it'll begin. And then he just lifts the thing and throws the drill in and electrocutes her. And I did not see that coming because that is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. There were so many moments to make this like a cool death, and they were just like, you think we're going to do it, but we're not. We're going to disappoint you at every turn. Ugh. Sorry. I just hated this death so much.
It was the most protracted of the deaths. Ugh. And it was just like, you're like, and this is what we've been waiting for? This is the death?
Yeah. Yeah. They really blew it.
So, let's see. Now then, so then the party just ends and everyone leaves. Just like everyone's
just gone. They don't leave. They're just gone.
It becomes there's like one shot of them like driving over the bridge and walking away. There is one shot, but then this thing is like a ghost town. The only people alive in the house are now Dorothy and Kate and David Boreanaz.
Yeah.
So,
did she already discover the detective, or is that about to happen now?
Okay. That's about to happen.
Okay.
So Dorothy's being a bitch. Dorothy's not loved. Screw all he is.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess, the setup for us to think that Dorothy could be the killer.
For sure.
So Kate goes outside, tries to call the cop. Finds him dead in the garden, sees the IOU that she gave to David Boreanaz, and now David Boreanaz is now the top of the list of the suspects.
So that's what's, so this whole thing is weird. One, the detective's like on the phone, he's like, I'm coming for you, stay in groups, and then everyone leaves and nobody cares, which is weird. But then that's it. We don't see him again until his head pops up. I want to see him get murdered. He's a big part of the movie. I want to see this happen on screen. What the hell, you guys? You are robbing me of cool deaths. I was so mad when his head popped up. I was like, you kidding me? That's ridiculous. I want to see this guy get killed. We saw him sexually harass a woman. We should see him die on screen. Stupid.
I guess that's the other thing is I guess that's why they killed the maid, is for us that they thought that would make us think that Dorothy's the killer because she killed the maid.
Oh, sure,
because
her and Dorth don't get along very well. Yeah.
So David Boreanaz shows up and he's just acting so weird. He's like, "Dance with me, Kate. Hello, Kate." And he's like being a zombie. Creepy. It's so weird. You're the only good thing in my life. Everyone else could just die.
All true.
She needs him. Runs upstairs. Hello, Kate. She finds dead Paige. Oh, I've always loved you. Hits him with a bottle. Goes to the den. Gets the gun. Loads it up. And then,
and then this is a great summation, by the way.
And then Cupid shows up. I'm calling him Cupid, and she's like, "Oh my God, they're the killer!" And I wrote David Boreanaz shoots him.
So
I don't really remember what happened at that point.
Kate and Cupid run into each other and like fall down the stairs, and then they're both kind of like, "Oh, I'm hurt," and then Cupid like does the cool Michael Myers sit up thing where you don't use any of your other body, which is great. And then boom, 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 Cupid gets shot and killed, and I was like, "That's it? That's how you're gonna kill the killer? Just so unceremoniously, just shoot him?" but twist.
And then we have David Boreanaz and them have to be like, oh, it's Dorothy. I guess nobody loves her. And she was angry. We were his friends. Oh, I'm comforting you, Kate. And then the blood drips out of David Boreanaz's nose, letting us know because the stupid kid at the beginning had nose
Yeah,
bleeds.
and the killer bleeds every time he kills someone. Maybe not every time,
Does he?
but a lot.
I guess so.
But
He did that
Dan,
a couple of times. Sure.
Are you telling me that if you are cuddling in someone's arms and something wet, doesn't have to be blood, could be anything, drips down onto your face, you don't move, you don't react? Kate has a line of blood down her face and she's just still like, this is so nice. What?
Well, there's two things. First of all,
okay,
she's in love.
Stop.
And the second thing is, she's going to see that blood and be like, oh, you're the killer.
Exactly. So why did they even do that? Just put it on his face and that's it. So she never sees it.
More importantly, when the cops come, you know what they're going to do? They're going to take DNA samples. They're going to do all this stuff. They're going to find out what's her name isn't it instantaneously.
Even more importantly, I would say, Dan, how did David Boreanaz get Dorth into the outfit? And why did she never take the outfit off? Why did she run into Kate? Like, none of it makes any sense if she's not really the killer.
He threw her into her. That's what he did.
That's what you think is what? Yeah. How did he get her in the costume?
Fuck all knows. Maybe she was already dead.
But she sat up.
Maybe just her legs were dead.
Right,
he killed her legs.
Okay, got it. This is good. Yeah,
I don't know. It was just so
stupid.
Such a stupid ending, and then play creepy music, and you're just like, oh my god, this movie was so bad.
I would just like to say that I had a good time watching the movie. This is worth a watch. It's disappointing for sure.
Yeah,
but I had fun.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good lines in the first 2/3 of the movie. The second third, the third act. Actually, the third act's really quick too. It's just like boom, boom, boom,
they speed through it.
They're like, we are not going to make a protracted chase around this house. Let's
just get everyone out of the way. Kill them.
We have limited time to shoot in this house because we do not have the money for this. Do not get no blood on the pool table because we're not paying for new carpets.
We've only got David for another 2 hours. He's got to get back to set. So let's go.
So yeah, I mean, this movie is the studio answer to a bunch of other successful movies. I guess the guy that directed it has since apologized about it. Oh, look at this! I got this creepy fish.
Sad. That's a good fish, Dan.
Skeleton piranha. I bought that at the dollar store for $2.99.
It always confuses me when people buy things from the dollar store that aren't $1.
Shut up, Tony. The dollar store has all sorts of discount items at this point. It's not just
don't call it a dollar store. Call it like a couple of dollars. Multi-dollar store.
I'm going to it's my bit. Have you ever gone into a dollar store and seen that some of the stuff is not $1? What is that? What's up with that?
The deal?
Thank you, Jerry Seinfeld, and your observational humor. I get bent out of shape every time this happens.
I do. I get bent out of shape a lot, though, in my defense.
It's a pattern in my life. My wife, you, everybody getting bent out of shape. Anything else to say about this stinker, Tony?
No. It's fun. Real dumb movie.
So each week, after we've dealt with the movie, which we just dealt with the movie, we talk about something we like this week. I'm picking, we're going to talk about one quick thing. Norm Macdonald died. Which is very sad and affecting a lot of people. I didn't realize how much of a hero he was to many, many people I know. I've always enjoyed him as a comedian, but a lot of people, he was like their number one comedian. So
he's not that this is kind of inside baseball between us. Before the podcast, I was talking about how Dan has a very specific comedic voice, and that's Norm Macdonald had a very specific comedic voice, and it was brilliant, and it was not like anything else that you've seen. So I think that's what a lot of people are attached to, and it's like I wish that I myself could find that one thing that like sets me apart from everybody else. I think that's why people looked up to him so much. I mean, he's great, he's fantastic, but he's quintessentially Norm Macdonald. Like, you don't get him confused.
You got the beard, Tony, and you got this show. Those are the things that set you apart.
Those are two things that people really care about.
No. So Netflix has bumped up he did a show for them. Norm Macdonald says some stuff or something.
Yeah.
So we were watching some of those yesterday, and the M. Night Shyamalan one, pretty interesting. The David Spade one's freaking great.
So good.
David Spade's so funny.
Yeah, he's a mean guy.
Yeah, he's pretty interesting.
He's got an edge to him.
So that's something. And then, of course, me and the wife watched Malignant.
Ooh.
Which you haven't watched it yet, Tony.
I haven't seen it yet. Is it good? Okay. Good.
I loved it.
I'm excited.
It does a bunch of things. There's this other show that talks about movies, and they did it, and the one guy loved it, and the other guy hated it.
Oh, interesting.
For very different structural reasons. It's one of those movies you got to see, and it's like, you watch this stupid Valentine, and you're like, this movie made all these crazy choices, and you're like, I was there to have them make a bunch of crazy choices. But I think horror purists are like, those are crazy choices, wrong.
Sure.
So. Screw them. So Tony doesn't have anything he liked this week, so he just wants to rant and rave about something.
I'm not going to rant and rave. Rant and rave. I've been continuously disappointed for like 2 weeks. That's all. And so this week, something dropped on, I think it's on Peacock. It was Dan Brown's The Lost Symbol. Which
I watched it. I watched the first one.
Did you? What did you think?
I thought Dan Brown should be beaten, but I thought there was some enjoyable things about it. I mean, it's so stupid. You're like, I don't know.
So here's the thing: is I won't lie to you. I enjoy the Dan Brown books. I know they're not like great literature, but they're a fast read, and he keeps you turning the pages. I enjoy them. I just don't think it might work in this medium because there's so many things that happen. I was just like, and now he's just talking again. For like 4 minutes, this guy just talks about a symbol, and I'm like, oh my God, the pacing of this show is brutal. And I was thinking about it, and I think I saw Da Vinci Code with Tom Hanks, and I think I forgave it a lot because it's Tom Hanks. He's just got that. He's got this like affability, like you like him, and I will listen to him, and it doesn't ever feel condescending or like monotonous to me. I like Tom Hanks, but
you hate
this
dude.
guy Ashley. I liked him in Fear Street. He was in Fear Street. He was the sheriff. I thought he was great in that. So I was very excited for this show. And when he's just talking, I'm just like, I don't give a fuck what you're saying to me, dude. Move on. Do something cool. So I had a tough time. With it.
The problem I found that I had with it was it didn't National Treasure it up enough. When you watch
but it wants to be National Treasure.
Yeah, and I think it's too based on the book. And the problem is, it's like they go down into the sub basement, and there's his super secret Masonic hangout room.
Yeah,
and then there's like a word on the thing, and then he figures you got to splash it with water, and then it's a secret rock that comes off. It's just like the thing about a mystery at this point is you wanna feed us the stuff so that when you get there, we're maybe a step behind, just like we're half a step behind, and we're like, oh, I get it now.
Yep, it just clicks, and you're like, oh, brilliant. Yeah.
The things in this, you're like, what the fudge? I don't even, we're like, what?
How did you get from A to B?
And then the villain guy is like, I can kill like 7 cops by myself naked with my hand-to-hand combat, and a taser doesn't affect me. They shoot him with a taser.
And then what he does is he grabs the taser and pulls the cop towards him. And I was like, whoa.
Beats him to death with his own gun. You're just like, what is this?
Yeah, I
Come
don't know. So
on.
that kind of was disappointing. But in the spirit of saying things we liked and remembering Norm, I'll say go watch Dirty Work. It's my favorite Norm Macdonald movie. I love it.
So since we're doing Halloween month, I get to pick a movie now. So I was like,
Okay.
why don't we go to one of the most storied franchises of all time? And they, they got to the fifth one, and they were like, we got to do some horror. We got to do some Halloween. We got to go
Okay.
right down that Halloween road, so that every year, everyone will like pull out the VHS and put it in and be like, oh,
VHS.
it's
Okay.
it's a little bit Halloween and it's a little bit comedy. It's a comedy Halloween movie of a storied franchise.
Okay.
Ernest Scared Stupid.
I'm trying to go on this journey with you. And I was like, I just don't know where he's going.
Before there was Huey Halloween, there was Ernest Scared Stupid.
Oh, Hubie.
He fights they fight demons. It's him and a bunch of kids fight demons or something.
What?
The movie poster is like Ernest behind a big jack-o'-lantern.
Oh my God.
And
This is gonna be good.
I think they made one more after this, and then all the rest were straight to video. It's gonna be terrible, and I love Ernest, and we could talk all about Ernest and what it all means.
Yeah, it'll be good.
I believe I went and saw the first Ernest movie in the movie theater for some unknowable reason.
Because you're a mensch. You love it. You love the movies.
So we're going where we haven't gone before. Ernst.
Scared Stupid. All right. I hope I get scared stupid.
I don't think you're going to get scared one time in this movie.
I might be
but maybe
stupid.
not. Who knows? So this has been Hate Watching with Dan and Tony. If you like what you see, tell your friends, tell your cousins, tell your aunts, uncles, and their grandparents. Leave a like, leave a comment. We got a few comments on the last thing. People saying how great they enjoyed the show. Thank you very much. And
thank you very much.
Thank you for your patronage.
Yes, yeah, the patrons.
Patrons. Thanks for all of our patrons.
Not to be confused with Patreon.
Because
we don't have one of those.
Haven't done that yet. So we'll be back next week. Thanks for hanging out with us.
See you then. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.